I love those, right? The private dinner with all of the NBA's young stars.
You had to be real cool to be able to go to
Kobe Bryant. And guess who had the access? This guy. Let's welcome photographer, director, visual storyteller, Bob Metelus, also known as Bobby Digital. You can see him at search Bobby Digital on IG. You will see he is amazing. I have been so pumped to have you on. Because you are the guy that all of these guys trust to have around in their private moments. These are not gentlemen who love their picture being taken, who are comfortable with everything, with just anyone. What is it like for you to be this fly on the wall around these guys? I mean, you're watching sports history over and over again.
It's a bless. I feel blessed to do it. It's just one of those moments where sometimes when it's happening, it's like surreal. Like it's like this is really happening. Where you have the ESPYs, or you have like during the finals, where you have this moment. So it could be something off court, where it's personal moments where you just kind of just seeing things happen. It's just to be there and just witnessing that. It's like an honor for me. It's an honor to capture those moments, those slices of life, and to show back to the guys and let them see it, because life happens so fast with some of these players. Like they're going, they're moving, they're moving, and they'll be able to, like, when it slows down, say, hey, you remember this shot? Let me show you this picture. I'll show you this video, and they're like, it takes them back.
And let me ask you a question. Was there a moment that you had around these guys where you were shooting them and you was like, man, I can't believe I'm shooting LeBron James, D-Wade, Chris Paul all at once?
Melo,
like,
Kobe.
Man, I think of all the moments, it was the Kobe dinner last year.
That we showed the picture.
That was the moment.
That was the moment where it was like, man, it's Kobe, Wayne, Chris, Carmelo, and they're all honoring him. This is his last year. You know, this is his last year. And they're honoring him, and this is a dinner, of an intimate dinner, and it's like, this is just happening. Like, this is happening. And you see Kobe on the court. He's the Mamba. He's a beast. And to see him in the moment where he's relaxed, and the guys are honoring him, and they're showing him love, and he's receiving the love, and just to be there and witness it. Everyone that was there knew it was the moment. Everyone. And
that is so cool when everyone can appreciate that. And that was last year at All-Star. This year at All-Star, I ran into you when you were shooting Jimmy Butler. What was that like to be going through his All-Star weekend with him?
It was cool. I got Jimmy this year, and it was cool because when you see Jimmy, you don't really know. Like, Jimmy, I tell Jimmy, I look at him as a serious guy, but then to be around him and his team, man, he has so much personality. He's such a funny dude, and he's so cool, and him and his team, they have fun. You could say they have fun. They have genuine love for each other. Like I'm sure back in your day when you're guys, like you see the guys that you're with, and you have your team, and you have your moments. Just imagine if you can go back and look at those moments. Like, just think about it. If you had those moments back then,
I would love to relive them.
See, and that's the thing to give that to those guys.
I was thinking about you when he was coming on. I was like, how cool would it be for you to have amazing art quality photos of the moments with you and Vince, the moments you have with Grant Hill and Orlando, the moments in Houston with Yao. I mean, that stuff just kind of disappears, and you got little snapshots here and there.
I mean, because
that's
the stuff you miss about the game, right? That camaraderie, and you can never get that back, man.
Yep.
Chris Paul, to me, has been another person who you photographed a lot, and I love the pictures you have of him and his family.
Such a good dude.
What has it been like to be around him? Because he's he's a strong personality.
He is. Chris, but he's a warm heart. He's like a family dude. Like, of all the guys I've been with, he's probably the most family-centric person that I've ever been around, almost to the point. If you have a family, you're not like him, he almost make you feel bad about how you are. Because he loves his family, and I appreciate that about him. But he's also, he's on the court, he's a bear. So to see that, to see both sides of him and to witness both sides of that's pretty cool.
All right, I'm going to stand up for your family. You have an amazing family.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do appreciate that.
You are married to Lisa, who, of course, works with Dwayne Wade. You have beautiful children, which also you can see on his Instagram feed. But there is the backstage at the ESPYs, right? That I know. I mean, you wanted to ask him about that, too, right?
No, you could go ahead. I got another question.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay, well, my question is really personal.
Okay.
I see in all the pictures LeBron's hairline looking real flourishing and stuff. I wanted some tips. Look, my hairline is not as good as it used to be. I need some tips. The angles, the lighting. What should I be doing?
See, I was going to bring up this important moment in NBA history, and you had to go there.
Get you to go
What
first.
is wrong with you?
I need help.
Bring you anywhere.
See this happening?
cannot bring you anywhere.
The older we get, it's going back.
It's life, man. It's life.
I do want to ask you about the ESPYs. You're not allowed to talk anymore. That moment in the ESPYs,
yes.
it was, I mean, this was a historic summer.
Yes.
Athletes really stepping to the fore in the social discussion, and those guys doing it, I think, message to a lot of other athletes around the NBA and in other sports about where their leadership should be. And what was it like behind the scenes in those moments as they were ready to go on?
Great shot right there.
It was crazy was that while it was happening, before it happened, I kept telling my wife, I said, man, this is going to be so dope. This is going to be one of those moments where if you weren't there, you would have heard about it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I want to make sure I capture this moment and give it its proper due. I wanted to make sure when you look at the photos and those guys look back at those photos, they remember the moment, like they feel it. And that's one of the things I make sure that with my images that you feel it, so you can be there again and relive it over and over. So as they were happening, I wanted to just make sure I fly on the wall and just shoot my shots, just get my shots in and out. It's crazy because when you have these moments as they're happening, you can't disturb it. You can't disturb the moment. And so there was a moment where the guys were praying. And I told Chris all the time, I said, it would have been a dope shot, but the way it was, I was so tight, and I couldn't, I'm praying.
Right.
So I couldn't be like, hey, before you say the amen, let me get y'all this. But no, so it's like, you can't, I don't ask the guys to pose, I just capture it. So it's one of those things where you just got to just be there. And there was enough moments there, as you see in the images there.
Yeah, I think you got.
When you take the pictures, are you aware of what's happening, or are you so into getting the shot that you don't even know what they're talking about, what they're doing? I'm usually aware. I've
been shooting almost 19 years now, and I've shot a lot of weddings, and I tell a lot of the guys that I work with, shooting brides and weddings is actually harder for me than shooting the stuff that I do.
By the way,
right.
not just any wedding, you did Gabrielle Union, Dwayne Wade's wedding too.
But to shoot weddings is brides are so intense. So a lot of times you got to be able to anticipate the moment. So for me, it's about anticipating the moment. So I'm with the guys, and I've been shooting Dwayne for so long, I can almost see the moment happen before it happens.
Yeah.
And I can almost see the players. It's like, all right, this is about to happen. I see Dwayne coming down, or I see LeBron coming down. I'm like, all right, let me just capture this moment. Let me just be in the right spot. So when it happens, I just pop, just get in and get out.
You see that, Rachel? It's a tutorial on when you be trying to face.
Where I try to
Snapchat.
I do. I try to get Tracy, and I am nowhere near as good as Bobby. That's not a surprise. You have done this to me, though. I will say many a time over the years. In fact, I saw you sneaking a few pictures when we were in New Orleans. But this picture, where I am so young, in champagne, it was like 2 years ago. It's not that I'm not young. I am literally soaked head to toe in champagne.
I'm not even going to tell you who you look like in this photo, right?
But 3 years, it was 3.5 years ago.
Right, so this is after the champagne showers in the bag. This is after that awesome finals where they came back and they had the awesome game 6, came back and then on the Spurs. And then at game 7 they won, and it was one of those moments where it was Dwayne's 3rd championship. And we were doing a documentary at the time called Journey to 3, and we were just kind of capturing these moments, and it was one of those things where I'm there and you there, and it's like one of those things that Dwayne, there's certain people, there's certain guys, there's certain contacts that the guys don't mind talking to. And you're one of them, obviously. And so when they came, Dwayne was like, he stopped. I remember that he stopped doing what he was supposed to be going somewhere else, and he stopped for you. And it was like, hey, so I'm there, and like, let me pop, get in and get out. So,
like
but
Beyonce.
You was
Beyonce stopped for her too, by the way.
Yeah, it's one of those. So it was cool because obviously, right. So you connected too. So it was good to have like the moment there and just capture that moment.
Yes, the behind the scenes of that photo is that the person who poured all that champagne on my head is Pat Riley, because we stopped for an interview. I looked fine in that locker room, put the microphone out, and he said, Rachel, wait a minute. He's like, is the cameras rolling? And then, boom, there you go. So that was my penance for getting that interview. Thank you so much for joining us, Bobby. Come back with more pictures soon, all right?
I will.
We love it. This is the behind-the-scenes stuff in the NBA. I love this stuff. We have a distant replay before we go to break as well. This date in 2005. Can you guess who it is, Amin?
Vincent Carter. That right there was better than any dunk in the dunk contest. Right there. Desmond Mason.
Not Vince Carter.
Okay, State.
Look at all the fans in the stand.
Yeah.